Hello everybody, welcome back to the pYanodons playthrough. Well, here we are. Oh, by the way, I'm Fantastic Mr. Ghost, if you don't know already. More pain. This one. I tried to run the bees between episodes, and LTN did not like that. The trains didn't like it, I should say. It just completely obliterated my, I have what, 600, no, 200, I think I have 200 trains. Let's see, the base is calming down here. 189, and then I think I can look at it with the LTN overlay here. Depot, there's, I think it's 239. Yeah, 239 trains to run this base, and they didn't like it that I ran the bees along with research, so I had to cut it off. But I did get a test in, which was good. You can see that I have a lot more maggot production, but I don't know if I can support it with the eggs, you know, over here, and the nests and all that stuff. Well, mainly the nests, yeah, because it's one, you know, these are it's only 1-to-1 here. And then what I did was I popped out here. Look at the eggs; they got the red little blips there. It's funny. Then I got a hot air up here, so we're gonna run this now. And blip, there we go. Like I said, I did run this, and the base went, oh! The trains did it, you know, not the base. So you can see I got 33 Arquids in here, which I will repurpose. And then we have here 40% chance to get Mark II and the regular. The red is, the Mark II is going up here. And then these guys will munch it up. So that kind of helps keep this from burning down here, which is the Arquad Mark II generator with the maggots and all that. So we don't want this to run, because then it takes away our maggots. We don't want that. So so if you look at this again, it's 0.5%, which is pretty good, and we only need 1. Very good. Now over here, down here, and over here, yes, I have zippers. Now, I say sometimes trits, because zippers and trits are kind of like they're sea creatures, and I don't know why. It just trit comes in my head. So I have a zipper codex system here, and we need the zipper eggs. That's one thing you got to remember. I forgot about that. The eggs are used for a lot of different things. You know, maybe 5, 4, I don't know, something like that. But we need the eggs for, I think it's chem science. Now when it comes to rendering them and getting the arthropod blood, there are other options coming up which we get more from the other creatures, or new creatures coming up. But I'm on the fence on that, because I have to see, you know, in Hellmod what it's going to turn into, because we may have better options for amount, but we may need a huge amount of these creatures, you know, the breeding complexes and all that stuff, to get the same amount that we would from zippers. And then we also have the Zyhophos, which have proven to be pretty good, but they're pretty involved with the bone meal and all that jazz, you know. It's good use for our blood, that's for sure. So what I have here is just a direct insert, the zipper codex here, and then we have the compiled right here. There's the output right there, because we need that to spin up our zips to get the level 3 done. And then once we're done, I've got the integrated module here ready to go. Let's go over here. Now, I wanted to look at this thing. I got my little decider. I keep forgetting to do this. So all this stuff here, this is a nasty one. So yeah, we need this thing, obviously. So I'm going to flip that one. Oh, wait, wrong way. Flip, flip. There we go. I had the zipper Mark II being requested here. I'm glad I saw that. Not a big deal, but now it is. So this, I've modified this a little bit for 2.0 features. Only 4 inside here. I don't know why it's saying 12. Read contents, include in crafting. Maybe if I turn these off here. Oh, there we go. I think that's what it did. I don't know what it was. I don't know how it was reading ingredients. Maybe that's what it was reading here. So I got to be careful on that one. So I use the same combinator setup for the Vraux 56, green wire, red wire, all that jazz. Here it is, 38. I decided to go up here because I had room. These things are monsters, you know. Now, what am I missing here? The zipper. Oh, we got it. I turned the inserter so we can flip. And I think we'll be good. There's the fish. I might have to put a... Yeah, this is pretty... Well, I think a regular inserter might work. So this is our percent chance on the zips. And it's a 0.4. So it's going to take a while. I noticed the 0.4s aren't as good. They're like 0.2s. And then the 0.3s are like 0.00001. It's crazy. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, so here's my... yeah, we generate... Oops, get on there. 60% chance to get a zipper back. So that's the pass-through here. And then the speaker is set up for 4, because that's what we need. Look at this. I did this research here, and we can now put more than one down on a surface. This is the restriction in Space Age base game is only 1 per surface, so 1 per planet. And now on pYanodons we can do more than 1. Now, it's weird because they're married. See, they've got the cool connection looking thing there, even though it's duplicate. It's just a duplicate. And the rocket things come in here, and then they dump their cargo. But it's not contiguous. And I think that in pYanodon, or no, in the base game, you can add modules to increase the size of, or capacity. But you can, the inserters do not work on those. You have to work around this. So usually what I do is I'll pop off of one. So it's like this is an 8x8, I think. So the modules that you click on or connect to here are 4x4. And you just line them up and you have 4 more opportunities for an inserter or whatever. I was kind of disappointed that these aren't contiguous. But my thinking is that you won't be doing contiguous like this. Or if you have 2 together, well, you just put them together. I doubt we're going to be doing a lot of exporting and importing from these things. So, you know. Anyway, so that's that. I was looking at this funny thing here. Down here we have this space dingeret. Man, this is involved. But I don't know what we get from it. So we launch it up in space, and I'm sure we get some kind of cargo down. But I don't know what we're getting back from launching a dingeret up. I'm curious. Very interesting. So I want to work on this today here. We're going to do a couple things. We got to get low density structures here, because I want to make the empty proto-Tholins vessel. And for that, I think I have it over here. This is the Zipper 3. And we need Tholins to spin these up. So let's go on over there. Let's make sure. Are you... Oh, filtration. All right. Why are you having trouble? No, I guess a train's on the way. I probably have a low amount for that. We'll let it run. I'll figure it out later. So over here... yeah, let's go over here. So here's the Tholins. And that's it right there. So what I'll do is set this up. I'm tempted to put this in the new hub, the new bio hub, but I'm not sure where I want to put everything yet, because I've been working on other stuff, haven't had a chance to think about it. Not a big deal, it's just so much going on. So the Tholins here is a liquid or gas. I want to say it's a gas, and we'll have to pipe it right to the zipper machine, which is pretty cool. So this is what we need right here, and basically the Tholins runs and pipes in the gas from the atmosphere, and then we container it up like that. Well, we don't have the containers. And then we get the filled one out. And I don't understand this process. So we get the filled one, but then we have to... Why not just... I don't know. This... Right? All this doesn't make any sense. Just go from here to here. You know? Why do I have to container it? Only under container it, and then... I don't know. Whatever. It's pYanodons, right? So that's that. Now, over here... I think way up here. I've been playing around. So we need this stuff, the glass fiber. So let's go ahead and click on... Oh, I don't have it. Let's go over here, out of the way of the bots, because I don't want to get this thing back. So here's the low density structure. We need the fiberglass. So we click on that. recipe, and here's the fiber. We have everything here, except the fiberglass. Here's the fiberglass. Epoxy, glass fiber, rayon, nylon, fiber, board, and boric acid. We have everything but the glass fiber. I don't even think I've made this at all. I may have somewhere, I don't know, but it's part of a build. And this is the recipe for this damn thing. Ugh, a lot of stuff. So I was thinking that probably my thoughts were to do glassware, but the glassware is working fine right now, and I'm not going to do anything more with it, you know, because we're going to do a rebuild anyway. So what better way to use the build I already have, I was fooling with, is to do the fiberglass, you know, get all that done, and we'll get low-density structures. Then I'll open up a few other things, too. Now, I did run some research off-screen that I kind of went over, but then I don't think I did everything. So, I don't think I went over everything. This one, I promised I was going to run. I did. The power armor, we went over. We just kind of looked at it. I ran it. This, the energy shield, I ran that. We went over the coal power, and I realized I needed to do the non-renewables first. So we went over the coal power. I just ran it. Then we got the discharge defense, which I'll never use, but I think it's used in some other things. And then the personal laser defense. I ran that. So these are all the, let's see, there it is right there. High-tech laser turret, low-density structure on that. And then, whoops, come on, there we go. Then there's the discharge defense here. Laser turret, high-tech circuit, steel plate. Here's the energy shield here. We didn't look at these. That's why I want to look at them on screen here. Low density structure, energy shield, and oh, I haven't even built the energy shield. High-tech circuit. So yeah, those are all done now. Okay, so there we go. I've been meaning to talk about this one here. I just did a few minor adjustments. I incorporated the Americerium spinning over here in the particle accelerator. I have 60,000. That's how much I've accumulated so far. It's getting there. So what's going to happen is this is all autonomous. You know, I don't have to worry about babysitting this thing. I was going to do this, but you know, you just need to get around to it, right? So the Americerium comes out, priority belt or priority splitter to the case for later use, and then it goes down and side loads onto the belt if it gets overwhelmed, and it will get burned up in our factory or our burning area. And then, so that's done here. And then the helium, which I can never find. There it is right here. I have a bleed-off system here. We have almost 60,000 helium. And we have no use for it right now. But I have a stop for it now. It's all done. And I have the bleed-off here. It's a gas, 90%. So it'll be a 236,000 on that. So at least it's here, and we can pull from here. Now I should do this priority. We'll go 100 on that. Now I got a little bored waiting for research, so the best time to do things is when research is running, but you just got to stay around and make sure you didn't screw something up, which I do a lot of. Glassware and optical sets now have pure sand coming in. It's not, basically I just eliminated the stone train. Quartz is still coming in, obviously. And I still needed a stone and gravel because we're generating stone and gravel from here. So that is being crushed into sand and washed and then sent back over to the case to be repurposed. So all those crushers are gone. This is a build that goes so far back, I don't even want to think about how far back. So the same thing here. The optical set is just a copy paste. So we got the pure sand and all this mess over here. You know what? I just thought of something. I could probably take the gravel and the stone and belt it over to here, and it would be able to handle it. So I did this because I was bored. But it was liberating because the stone compression, you know, like you can only do 50 stone stone stacks to 50, whereas pure sand stacks to 200. So that's a better use of our trains. Speaking of pure sand, I was over here and I'm trying to minimize the train traffic here, specifically for the muddy sludge. And I put a pump control here. And what it's going to do is if the muddy sludge is 0, then the pump will activate The concept here is that if the sand runs and I have a train coming consistently here, what's going to happen is we're just going to vent the muddy sludge from the source here. So I'm trying to reduce the train traffic in this case, and it's been working pretty good. So less trains for muddy sludge. Over here by flavonoids, I decided that it was time to update this recipe. I brought a train in with special fungal substrate and belted it on up over here, long-armed in. And I didn't realize I had the old recipe here. So it's double now. Instead of 3, it's 6. So that'll help with the flavonoids production because this stuff sucks. 30 flavonoids, 15 seconds. That's not a lot. And we're going to have a lot more flavonoids being required by other recipes going forward, I noticed. I have a worker food set up here. It was antiquated. I updated it. And now I have it on the train system. Finally. And again, when you're bored waiting for research, these are the things you do. So I decided to test out that build, and I'm bringing worker food in over here for our little digger creatures here. These are the thickets. And the food here, I was doing meat, which is 2 ore per, trip. I have plenty of meat, but guess what's happening? Now that I have the nitrogen and the cyanic acid being produced from meat, I figured, well, let's just, get all that into there. And the worker food is only 8 ore per trip, but it's better, way better. The complexity, I don't know. I think it should be more because the worker food versus meat is quite a big gap, but whatever. The deluxe worker food would be better. I should look into the deluxe, see what that's about. So I got rid of the meat and we got worker food now. So our wonderful vat brain buddy over here is consistently fed, and I changed a few things. Look at that. 100 vat brain cartridges, full belt, brains everywhere. Now I have this insert, as you may know, wired up to operate, or it's a mini loader, to operate if the brains in that case are above 1,000. When they go below 1,000, it shuts this insert off here so that I can build back up on brains. We need those for the animal samples. That's more important than, well, yeah, you're not going to run science without brains for the animal sample because that's logistic science. So I need to be able to manage that somehow, and that's how I'm doing it. I broke down. Okay, I broke down, and the augs are saving the day again. The workhorse of this mod is the augs. So I've always been kind of a proponent against running things just to run things for a small amount of whatever, right? But the impact of having that vat brain is immense. Now, when you mouse over your science production information here, mouse over the research there, and I was as high as 9. It dips to, it's like 8.9, 8.9, 8.9. So 9 science per minute. You divide that into the amount of science that you have to process, and that's how much time. The difference between the vat brain is 8 to 9 versus 6 consistently. So that is a crazy amount of time that's saved. Not only that, but a crazy amount of resources over that whole spread of research too. What I want to do is we're going to wait for this, and then I want to go through the final kind of research here. And that way I can run this when that's done, and then I'll cut back in and we'll set up the final process for these 2 creatures here. So we got the biomass one. I don't particularly feel the need to use this here. I tried it. It's really tough because you do need the high grade, biomass for this. There's the salt, and then there's the machine. It's the same as what we've done before. We got geothermal power, 600, 100, 100. It's a lot faster. I don't feel the need to use that. And then we got oil power, same salt and everything. And here's the machine. Everything is the same here. That's why I figured we do go through this quickly. Tidal power seems fun. I have to look at the power output, but this is a part of that alternative energy stuff. I like the wind power because I can go anywhere with this. And I do minimize my lakes because I like flat, areas to build. And I don't want to spend my time landfilling lakes. So we have a new Vout. That's horizontal, that's vertical. And then we have a multi-blade high-tech turbine. This is where, oh, look, it requires the Mark III fish on that. So I'll run that research. Now, I think it's, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could do 7. I miscounted on an episode prior. Let's go ahead. I'm going to kill these. I don't want them to run, obviously. So here's our Mecha Zungroar. This is our aka Spidertron. And this thing is insane. We need molten nexolite artificial blood. We got a shed now. We need the power armor, energy shield Mark II, of course. Mechanical parts, dielectric layer, hydraulic systems Mark I. Notice it's 8 because it has 8 legs. That is cool. 8 nanofibrils, I guess, for each leg. And neuromorphic chips, spider DNA, great alien sample, the Zungroar codex, and a Zungroar, because we're fitting it with all this stuff. And then we got 8 high-tech circuits, 80 special small parts. It's like 10 per leg, I guess. Oh, this is weird. 8 high-grade lead. Why? We got to fill it with blood, and I don't know what the molten nexolite does, but nexolite has to be in all this stuff. So I'll run that one. Look at this. This is 2,500. And then I think, oh, this one here, we can, biofluid network. So we got a new recipe for gunpowder. It's using guano, which is military science mainly. And then we have guano plus pressurized water for ammonium nitrate. You can set up these little bat things and they just poop, right? You have to feed them and then they poop the guano. So it's kind of a weird little, just like closed loop system you can make. Then we got the ammonium nitrate, glycerol, sulfuric acid for explosives. Then we have a Huzu. And this is a new bat. As you can see, it transfers fluids between provider tanks and requester tanks. Place inside a floating biopinoport. I was playing around with these. They were not very, I don't know. I just didn't see the point of it to use it for production. But you do need the guano, I think, eventually for some other stuff. Maybe I think they changed production science. So I'll queue that up because, I want to make sure I have all these up here. So when I go through my editing, I know what I queued. Now, this is the big daddy here. In fact, well, let's get rid of this. And I think we can finally run the production science here. Now, you'll notice that it does not have guano in here or anything bat related. It's tholins now. But there might be guano in here somewhere. I don't know. But notice that we need a coated container, control unit. We're back to nuclear samples, the nanostructure material, alien enzymes. So we need the nanostructure material to build buildings and the alien enzymes to do some of the alien spin-ups, at least for now. The cotton gut specifically. Special small parts, of course, super steel, gadolinium, metal, and then the tholins. I might do the tholins locally for this build. That way we don't have to train that around. And that's our production science, folks. So well, yeah. Ooh, look at all that opened up. Holy cow. So I think that's it. Because everything now is production. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill all these here. And I'll run those off screen. Okay. I'm going to let these run. And I think I'll run the research. And then we'll cut back in and we'll do the creature stuff. But it's going to be short. And I want to do at least the glass fiber in this episode. All right. Wish me luck with these things. Arquad alert. Arquad alert. That's just for dramatic effect. I pulled everything up. This thing popped pretty quick. Very happy about that. But there is a problem with the zippers. And that is making them. Why? Because of this crap right here. Bioscaffold. Bioscaffold I have being made down here. And it requires chitin. The only two things, or there's only 2 ways to get it, and I'm only using one, which are the bees. Yay. Speaking of which, the bees are running really well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my little Arquad. There we go. We're going to convert all this over here. And let me do a copy, just in case, let me make sure I've got all of it here. Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll do it like that. And then I'll paste it here, just in case something goes wrong. What are these things here? Oh, that's the milk and all that. Okay. All right, now this stays the same. There's no change in the filled honeycomb. But what does change is this. Oh, we got the Coralex now right here. Oh, that's right. All right, so we got to change that out. And let's see, we got, okay, the filled comb, Coralex now, and I'm going to have extra. Oh, I can repurpose. No, I can't repurpose this because it's a level 2. And, oh, we got to put those in. We got to switch this out here. Oh, wait. Ow. Get out of there. And, well, okay. What I'm going to do is we got to shift, right click, left. That'll reset everything here. This comes out right here. Yeah, stuck. And I think we'll pull this out temporarily. That stays in. I'll pull this one out. I don't think we need the milk barrels anymore, so let's pull this out really quick. And I need this thing, the Easy Squeezer Rancher. So we're going to copy that. I'm going to bring it over here. Okay, this comes out. So I might move this up, all this, because it's going to be a smaller footprint. So let's pull this up here. And then I'll leave that inserter there. All right, we'll copy that. And we'll paste it in. I think I'll go, let's go over that way, like so. Yeah, so we got the Coralexes for that we need. And, oh, it needs bedding. Oh, I don't have the quality Coralex food. I made that temporarily. So what we gotta do, let's go like this, like that. And we'll pull the milk out and the food. Don't need that anymore, but we do need it for these Ulrichs over here for later, maybe. Who knows? Now, what I'm going to do is cut this. Oh, you know what? This here. I think I'm going to switch the recipe first. Copy, paste, because then I get all the crap out of there. Hot air stays the same. This changed to an Arquad 3. That's why I like to do the machines. I don't like to have them way over here, but I don't want to build them. That's the problem. And then I am going to put you back in there. Oh, I see what's going on. It's grabbing that crap. So I'm going to cut this out here. Yikes. That's a lot of crap. Fits nice and close. Boom. Done. Oh, okay. I got the nest. Oh, I forgot. You know, I'm shift clicking in. And from my inventory in, and we got the nest now. That freaked me out. I'm like, where'd it go? But yeah, we need the food. I might make this locally here. Here it is right here. I might make this here. So let's get a machine here. Alrighty. We got the food, baby. There it is. Oh, I should prod this up, you know, just so I get more out of it. Oh boy, these are slow. 100 seconds. All right, there we go, folks. I suppose I could speed this up just for now. Okay, it took 3 crafts because it's 4, 8, and there we go. So 4, 8, we need 9, so that's 12. Yeah, there's the extra 3, and then we have an extra 4. That's 7, and then that puppy will pop out and get delivered up here. Oh, let's see what we get. Oh, we got 4. Well, 1 more than the low end. I'll take it. Hey, we got him. Look at that. The plan is, unfortunately, what I have to do is run research. All that research I went over. I need the stupid chitons. And I do have a workaround, but I'd rather run the research. And right here is my Vrauk producer. I did this way back. And I don't remember what I was spinning up. Maybe it was the coral. Maybe it was the, you know, one of those Coralex things or something, zippers. So what I did was I ran this thing, and TSM picks up here. as you can see. There's some stuff in here. Yeah, so at least I get brains out of it, which is nice, because then when I run the research, you know, I would have them. But I'd rather run the research first, see if I can get these things to pop out, you know, the level 3s. Yeah, unfortunately, it's 4. Now, granted, well, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to flip this inserter here. And then I'll let this run. These are going to be 50. So this is the stuff that we got the animal sample. That's brains, by the way. Bioscaffold, bone marrow and stuff. I'm not too worried about this with the research, especially starting up. You know, it's going to be a ramp up, and then by the time this gets set up, hopefully I'll have 50, 50, and 50 in this one here. So I'll have 150, and then enough chitin to do the to keep doing the bioscaffolding. So I'll run the research, and then we'll see if hopefully I can get this. The last ditch effort here is just rendering Vrauks until I get this thing going here, until I get the 4 level 3s. This is a real pain in the butt, and they don't give you the option here. So if you go to craft, they don't have many options here, and it really kind of annoys you because you're relying on it for creature spin up. It's not important, obviously, but I'd like to have more options. So there's the Vrauk. We only get 1. Then there's the Dilmo for 3. I don't care. I don't want to render a Dilmo just to get chitin, and it doesn't make sense to set something up just to do this. And then the Simic 3, again, not going to do it. The Arquad, which, the research running, 4. So, 4 isn't a lot. And then we got the Namal, which is 4. Not going to set that up. And then that's it. Now, what's weird is you can use the bioscaffold to make more chitin eventually, which is weird. But now the bioscaffold has, wait a minute. That is the, okay, we have this one here. I think so this is the one I have, 20. So you get it's a 10 increase in chitin. So it's 30. This requires 20. You create the bioscaffold and you get 30. So it's 10 plus each time. It looks like it builds it up. And then we got this curtain. That's pretty involved for 5, but it's better than what we have. What is this one here? Oh, and then we're adding a lamp to that? Yeah. Add a lamp and we get 10? That's fine by me. But, this is probably... Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's a technology upgrade. That one. Because it doesn't have a research down here. Let's see, then we have a Kaito-san. This is 8, which is not bad. And then we have this. Oh, this is another one with the lamp. Okay. And then 15 using nano for brills. And then the lamp. Okay. So the best we can do for bioscaffold is this one here without a technology upgrade. Sucks. Okay, so I'm going to let this run. Let's see. Yeah, I got to run the research. When this is done here, I'll run research and then hopefully have enough chitin. And if I don't have the 4, then obviously I got to run do the Vrauk rendering and vent out the stuff there. What's going on with you? Oh, okay. Look at that. Look at this. 84 already. That's how fast this is. So we're waiting on the maggots. And what's going on here? Why are you... Where's my nest? Native flora. Oh, I took that out of here. All right, there we go. So this will be done shortly, as soon as it all buffers up. And then I'll run the research and we'll go from there. Alrighty, folks. I think that's all I have time for in this episode. Went a little long, but I think a couple days have passed since I went over everything with the research. It is all done, as promised, and the technology upgrades are the last things. There is an exception here, which is this military one. Well, this one, that's down there now. Oh, I wonder if that got fixed. Well, we have this, the Artillery 2. It gives us the artillery wagon and a fat man. And that's, I think that's Fallout 4 reference there. So I'm going to run those off screen here. This one is the artillery shell range. And I remember that it was kind of an infinite. It was stuck in, it had ChemSci. And I was like, oh, I could test the base with this, but it doesn't have Pi Science 3 in there. So it doesn't really test it fully at this point now. But for when I went from 2.0 or 1.1 to 2.0, it was great. I found a lot of bugs there with it. And so, yeah, I'll run these two off screen, as well as all the technology upgrades. There is something here. What was it now? Oh, the technology upgrade wipe here. The reselect, since I already have one in the queue. I was going to run this, I think I mentioned this before. I'm going to run this all the way to almost to the end, save it, then finish it, and see what happens when I reset 1 and then 2 technology upgrades. And then I'll revert back if it does what I think it's going to do. It's going to hold them in a, like, oh, you have 2? Because I just want to get this out of the queue here. I don't want that sitting there. It just bothers me. So that's the case there. And yeah, all the research is done once the technology upgrades are done. So this one here, one quick thought. This is the front end, or it's basically the molten glass with a glass fiber front end to, or back end to it. I've got clay and limestone here. We're bringing in, and this build already had coke coming in. So I just belted it up to the boron trioxide. This thing can drink the boric acid. So my thinking is, for the future rebuild here coming up, I'm going to probably do this on site right off of a boric, I think it's it's over here. Here it is. This is the boric acid right here. Well, it's not there, but you get my point. So here's the boric, or the borax. And we're making the boric acid here, as well as the hydrogen chloride. So I wanted to do this off of a borax patch. Clean it, do all that good stuff. And, that's going to be kind of important going forward. So the boron trioxide here, because it drinks this stuff, look at this, 200. I looked at that and I go, oh, I didn't realize it was that high. And the other thing is, this part here, the glass fibers, is used in small, or the special small parts. Next episode, we'll work on the fiberglass. And then most likely, I wanted to get everything done, but there's just too much going on. We've got this thing, the bio battery. We're going to need that. So fiberglass. And I thought it was... Why is it not showing up? Oh, fiberglass is in these things here. So the glass fibers, it drills down into this structured material. That's a key ingredient to science as well. So we got the fiberboard in there. And then, of course, the low-density structure, which we're going to need for the zippers. I remember to say it. Oh, and here it is right here. I forgot. I copied it down here. So we've got all this stuff here. There it is. That's our next project here, as well as the low-density structures. So I'm going to pull this up here. Yeah, I forgot I pulled them down here. So this is where I am right now. I patched in a splitter with a priority going towards our new build. I have to set up the whales here. I'll do that in between episodes. And everything is working pretty good. So what I like is this front end here, or well, I like the molten glass front end, yeah. Now, this right here, you'll notice that I am bringing it in as well. So I went over here. Oh yeah, that's right. I have it in the episode here. So I cut in 4 of these sodium sulfates right here, right by our, I think it's ammonium chloride. And here's our bisulfate over here, if you remember. Sodium bisulfate. It's been a while since I built this. So this gives me some ideas that, you know, we're going to have to focus on more focused builds for the sodium hydroxide. It's working, but it's going to start failing. Over here, I added more capacity for lime, and I just threw in some limestone machines here. And this is the inefficient coke recipe. What we're going to have to do, and what I mean by what we're going to have to do is what I'm going to have to do is this bitumen with the bees. So bitumen to coke, and then coke plus limestone to lime. Yeah, so we need that lime, and then that's slaked lime, and then the sodium hydroxide. Now, the wonderful thing about that, and that's up here somewhere, is that we get a huge amount of limestone kick out from that recipe. And if I could find it, yeah, here it is right here. So it would make sense to have the sodium hydroxide and lime together, because we're going to do slaked lime, because it's just water and the lime. So it's coke to limestone to the lime. And then, yeah, this process kicks out the limestone. With that oil, with the bitumen build to coke, it makes sense to put that with this specifically. And then you see how I'm bringing in, or I'm pulling out lime here. So that will reduce train traffic and also be more effective and efficient, or whatever you want to call it. So that's what I think the future is going to be for our sodium hydroxide and slaked lime and lime all together. And we'll do that bitumen build with the bees, because that's been very effective for coke. Amazingly effective. I don't mind running off of a raw coal to pressure furnace, because we do need the coke oven gas, you know, to top off our hot air builds. So we'll have to see. But that's the future there. I'm going to write that down. I got a list, man. A ton of stuff. So a little bit of update on the trits here, and I'll end it. Let's see what we got. Only one. I was surprised I got this one, to tell you the truth. So, or not trit, zippers, yeah. Sea creature, so zipper. When I say trit, I mean zipper. So I've got these 2, well, I decided to do these 2 here, but, you know, they're not all working. Barely. I even have a beacon on these. That's how slow this is. So I got a little beacon there, just to speed it up, to help if I do get the scaffold, the bio scaffold. So, yeah, I'm doing the best I can here. So hopefully, what I'm going to do is run this when I'm working on projects, and I'm going to run the technology upgrades overnight while I'm crashed out, you know. So there we go. Well, we got glass fibers. That's one ingredient that we need to progress the zippers. So this is the zipper is the last thing that I think we got to do. There is the cotton gut, but what that means is the cotton gut is a weird one, and that's because of this right here, the alien enzymes. Now that is, we have a creature spin up here for the venom gland, and then we've got all these new things. So I'm not too worried about the cotton guts right now, but they're here as a reminder. And then we've got the muck moos and all these other things that we need to spin up here. And then I got all the glassware stuff that we got to do, and here's the fiberboard and all that. So what I'm looking at here is I do want to get the zippers Mark III's done, but the cotton guts are going to have to wait, unfortunately. And I wanted to rebuild the cotton guts along with everything else. So I'm going to start putting together a plan, and sooner than later, we're going to get the farming done. You know, all this farming is going to happen right along down, well, however far we're going to go. And then, you know, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, it'll be interesting going forward here, the rebuild. And look at this, 26 million. This thing got hammered with all that research going, and we're not done. So anyway, glass fibers, I want to thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Little milestones here. It's going to get tough now with the rebuild, and then the rebuild's going to go right on into the production science pack. Oh God, that's going to be a nightmare. All right, again, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.